Hello there, my name is Ashraf and I'm here to talk to you about development by triangulation. We have a very simple transitional piece before us and we are going to develop it using triangulation. Now, to interpret this, we need to first of all interpret the different surfaces, and as you can see, this inside circle here is actually corresponding to this slanted surface in the elevation. Then this circle here corresponds to the top of the elevation, and with that we can easily develop this. Now we are given this as the seam, so I'm going to name this as A1. So point A is up and 1 is down, and as you can see, that would mean that A is right here and 1 is down there. So I'm going to name the circle inside. This will happen after I have divided it into 12 parts. But since we are only producing half the development, I'm only going to name up to half. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 right there. So if this is A, it will become B. This is C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. I'm only producing half the development. Now, as you can see, we shall need to draw the true shape of this circle down here. So that would mean that I need to project all these points down from the inside circle. So I'm doing exactly that. So in the same way, I'm going to project these points from the big circle to also have them brought down. You're going to see why. So as you can see, this here becomes my point B. This here is point C. Then this is point D. This is point E. This here is F. This here is G. This here is H, I, and finally J. And then down, this is going to be point 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But remember, we need to produce a true shape for that surface as it is slanted or cut. So I'm doing exactly that. So project perpendicular lines to that very surface. So after doing this, I'm going to pick these dimensions from up here. Apparently I didn't slide the lines all the way, so I'll simply produce them like that. So pick this distance, come in the middle here, mark it off, then pick this 5, mark it off, 3, mark it off, and finally pick this. So come right here, mark it off, come right here, mark it off, and join this with a smooth curve, and this is the true shape, half the true shape of this surface. So I'm going to outline it. Perfect. Now this is the time where we create the triangles along the profile. So I'm going to start at point B, then join B to 2, 2 to 3. The pattern of triangles can be created in whichever way that you want, as long as you create triangles. So in whichever way that you want, create that pattern. So 6 to E, 6 to F, and from F I'm going to jump to 7. 7 is my last point there, so all these remaining points will be joined point 7. Just like that. So I'm going to create this pattern of triangles in the elevation as well. And you realize that we started by joining 2 to B, then B still to 3, then 3 to C, C to 4, C to 5, then 5 to D, then D to 6, then 6 to E, 6 still to F, then F to 7, and 7 to the rest of the points down here. But now when you look at the elevation closely, you realize that from A1 to B2 we have no triangle there, so that means that I have to join point 2 to point A to create a triangle there. So that means I'm joining point 2 to point A. I think that makes sense. If I had just drawn it in the plan here, it wouldn't, but since I've now showed it in the elevation, it's better now. Perfect. Now in the previous example, we looked at how we handle slanting surfaces, and we said that we have to produce lines from that surface, and these lines are to help us develop those sort of points. So I'm going to produce lines from all these points. We're going to see why very soon. Finally, 1. So in the same way, I'm going to produce lines from these points on the top surface, B, and finally A. Perfect. Then I'm going to create one vertical line from which I'll take all my true lengths, and that is my vertical line. Perfect. Then we said start by drawing a line at any angle that you feel like. This is the angle I'm comfortable with today. So let's start it off. So as you can see, we are going to start off by drawing the same, which is A1, and since A1 is a point in the elevation, so A1 is the true length here. So pick A1, come onto your line and mark off A1 just like that. So at the top here we have A, and this here is point 1. So after A1, you can see that we now require A2. So pick the plan length of A2 right here, plan length of A2. Come to point 2 down here, mark off along point 2, stand right here and open your compass up to point A here along that vertical line, and that is the true length of A2. So stand at point A and draw an arc just like that. So we need the distance from point 1 to point 2, and as you can see, we have to get that distance from the true shape down here. So pick that distance from 1 to 2 just like that. Come right here and mark it off. So this here is point 2. So this is point 2. Join to make the triangle. Then from point 2, so like I was saying, we are proceeding to point 2B. So pick the plan length of 2B. Pick the plan length of 2B. Come to point 2. Stand right here. Mark off. Stand at that point. Open your compass up to point B is projected, and that would be that point. Then stand at point 2 and draw an arc. As you can see, we need the distance from A to point B. Now, before we do that, let me take you back briefly to lines in space. We discussed and said that if you have a line, this is line A, B, this is A prime, B prime. When neither of these two lines is purely horizontal, that would mean that neither of these two lines is the true length of the other. So we would need to get the true length of each of these lines. And as you can see, we are approximating this curve AB to be a line. So look at curve AB as a line. As you can see, AB is slanted in the plan and AB is slanted in the elevation. Same ideology here. None of these two lines is the true length of the other. So none of these two is the true length because we are looking at AB as a line and AB as a line. So that would mean that we need to get the true length of line AB. So simply pick the plan length of AB, come to point B, mark it off, stand right here, pick the distance up to A, and this would be the true length of curve AB. So stand at point point A right here, mark it off. So this is point B, and join to get that. Then from B, you can see that we need to get B3. So pick the plan length of B3, come to point 3 here, mark it off, stand there, open your compass up to where point B is projected. So stand at point B, draw an arc, then you need the distance from 2 to 3. So pick that distance from the true shape here, stand at 2, mark off. So this would give us point 3. Stand right here, join to point B, just like that. Then from point 3 we have to proceed to C. So we need the true length of C3. So pick the plan length of C3, come to point 3, stand right here, mark it off, stand at this point, open your compass up to point C where it's projected, right there. So we are standing at point 3 and then we are drawing an arc just like that. And as you can see, we need the distance from B to C. And just like we discussed in this analogy here, BC approximated as a line is slanted in the plan and it is also slanted in the elevation. So that would mean we have to pick the plan length of BC, come to point C, mark it off, stand right here, open our compass to point B, and this, ladies and gentlemen, would be the true length of BC. So stand at point B, draw an arc, so join like that. So from C we need to get point 4 and 5. So pick the plan length of 4C, come to point 4, mark it off, stand at 4, open your compass to C, then come to point C right here, draw an arc, then get the distance from 3 to 4. So pick it from the true shape, that's the distance, come right here, mark it off, that is point 4, draw that line. Then from C still we need to get point 5, pick the plan length, come to point 5, mark it off, stand at this point, open your compass to point C, then that's the true length, stand at C, draw an arc, then you pick the true length from 4 to 5. So this is 4, this is 5, join to point C. So this here is point 5, and then from 5 we need to get to point D. So pick the distance D5. So come to point 5, mark off that distance. Then point D is right here. So that would be the true length. So stand at point 5, draw an arc. Then from C we need to get point D. So get the true length of CD. So none of the two curves is the true length. Pick CD, the plan length of CD. Come to point D, mark it off. Stand right here. Open your compass to point C. Then stand at point C. Draw an arc along this one. So this here is point D. Point D joined to point 5 right there. Then from point D still we need to get point 6. So stand and get the plan length of D6. Come to point 6, mark it off, stand right here, open your compass to point D. Then stand right here, draw an arc, get the true length from 5 to 6 from the true shape, come to point 5, mark it off. So this here is point 6. Draw a line just like that. Then from point 6 we need to get point E. So get 6E, come to point 6, mark it off, stand at that point, come here where E is projected, then from 6 draw an arc. Then we need the distance from D to E, but as you can see, DE approximated to be a line is slanted in the plan and is purely horizontal in the elevation. So that would mean that DE in the plan is the true length. So pick DE. So pick DE. Stand right here. Mark it off. So this here is point E. Join it to point 6. And still from point 6 we need to point to get point F. So pick the plan length 6. Mark it off. Come right here to that point F, then stand at 6, mark off. We need the distance from E to F. As you can see, EF is horizontal, EF is slanted, so the slanted one is the true length. Pick EF, stand at EF. So this point here is F. Then from F we need to get point 7, so pick the plan length of F7. Come to 7 right here, mark it off. Stand right here, pick the distance up to F here. So stand at F, draw an arc. Then from 6 to 7, pick the true length from the true shape here. So there, here. So this here is point 7. I'm sorry that this thing is going to each other. That is point 7, so draw there. Join like that. Then from 7 all other points shall be good, so we need 7G. So pick the plan length of 7G. Come to point 7, mark it off, pick this distance up to where point G is projected, which is this point here. So stand at point 7, draw an arc. Then we need the distance from F to G, and realize FG is horizontal, slanted, so that would mean that I have to pick this very one. So F to G, so this point here is G. Then we need 7H, so pick the plan length of 7H, come right here, mark it off, pick that distance up to point H. So standing at 7, draw an arc. Then the distance from G to H shall be picked from here because it's slanting here and purely horizontal in the. So this here, ladies and gentlemen, is H. So join G and still join H to point 7. Then we need to get I, 7I. Pick the plan length of 7I, come right here, mark it off. Distance up to where I is projected, which is this point, point 7, draw an arc. Then the distance from H to I, the true length is this very one, as HI is purely horizontal down here. So this is I, so join. Then we are almost there. Then finally we need to pick the plan length of 7J, but as you can see 7J is purely horizontal, so that would mean that 7J in the elevation which is slanted is the true length. So I'm simply going to pick this, stand at point 7, draw an arc. Then the distance from I to J is the true length, stand right here. So this is J, and join it to 7, it's the last line. We are producing half the development, so that would mean it's outlined. I'll also outline the first line here and join these with smooth curves as we are dealing with a curved surface. So this is what you have, and also now, as you can see, point G, there is a sharp corner, so you also expect a sharp corner at point G. Don't worry about that. So join these with smooth curves. just like that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the development of that transitional piece that you're looking at on your screen. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. I love you.